to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubosphere, to you, the individual, as part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Track Odds here on Talk Radio version of the OMSR. I am your brief but concise host, Will, the alternative and or tournament thrill. Always do a little show like this, let you know the clip order coming up to the whys and wherefores. You get a significantly longer highlights reel that way, plus the quickie sport rant of the segment, but as part of the upcoming Gen 5.0, we're going to do that after. Let you know what it's going to be about, but you can decide to stick around or not. Do that for one of two reasons. A lot of times I can get on a roll and it's pretty good stuff pursuant to the particular sporting event being covered. Two, it indemnifies the OMSR position. Okay, so we're talking briefly and concisely about Final Four Saturday. A little more detailed analysis on the numbers, and then a focus on Kentucky in general, how they got to this point, and listening to some well-spoken words by Coach Calipari. So the Quickie Sport Rant is going to be about the not remembered at this point rivalry between Calipari and Calhoun. At the two schools, and how fitting it is, they are right next door to each other in the sense of the moniker of each school in the term of, or with respect to the U, and then the state being abbreviated after. I'm talking UMass and UConn. You could also say that about UMont, or for Montana, or UMiss, Mississippi. No. These are the only two schools like that. And there was a rivalry going on there. And so that's coming up on the Quickie Sport Rant. So, as far as the clips go, I already described that. So, roll it.
Well, you thought that UConn could have won that game with Napier only taking 6 field goal attempts. Of course, then again, when UConn gets in the Final Four, you sort of expect them to win. In NCAA tournament history, look at this winning percentage. Among those teams who played at least 3 games, the Huskies are 7-1 and will have a chance to be a perfect 4-0 in the national championship game. Meanwhile, it is UConn that bookended a brilliant 30-game winning streak for Florida, but the Gators' hopes of winning their 3rd national title under Billy Donovan came to an end with the loss to the Huskies. Florida didn't play up to its standards. Look at these points. 53 of them that tied for their season worst. They only had 3 assists in the entire game. They made it 3 early. Michael Frazier did. He didn't even see the ball. It didn't seem for the rest of the game. And only 10% from the 3-point line on the night. That also the worst performance of the season by Florida. But you know what? We said a lot of the same things in the Elite 8 game about Michigan State. So let's give some credit to UConn's defense. What is it that UConn has done so well and did so well to make Florida look as bad as it did on offense, Seth?
Never underestimate the value of ball pressure. They absolutely took Michigan State out of their offense, and they took Florida out of their offense by putting great pressure on the basketball game, up and under the Florida guards. And I'll tell you the other thing, their game planning. All right, their preparation, their defensive game plan is all personnel driven. They pressure the guards, they played off the forwards. Yigette and Dorian Finney-Smith, they combined for 1 for 8. All the help came off of those 4s.
They dominated, no question, on the perimeter. I did that game, and they dominated the perimeter. They suffocated Frazier. Frazier could not get free for a shot. He had no opportunity to catch the ball and get a good look. The guards were sensational, forced the turnover, and they created momentum with a little slam and a little jam down on the other end. When they rotated to the zone, I thought they did a great job throwing the ball over the top of the zone and getting the diagonal pass. And Daniels, let's not forget what a great game he had, 20 and 10.
Ryan Boatwright is the college basketball version of Gary Payton. He's unbelievable. He gets underneath you, and his ball pressure was great. Scotty Wilbekin only had 2 turnovers in the entire NCAA tournament. Tonight he had 3. And once again, we said that you had to keep Shabazz Napier out of the middle of the paint. He got into the middle of the paint constantly, had 6 assists.
So Shabazz Napier didn't have to score. UConn still found a way to win. And now the Huskies will take on Kentucky for the national championship. And not that I'm condoning such endeavors, but should you have chosen to play a game of chance before the tournament started, Kentucky was a 40-1 shot to win the national championship. UConn was 100-1. Somebody might be rich soon.
Baylor wins at 67-62, and they knock off the #3
team in the country.
Was there any conversation at all about this being the Final Four side, or is it too premature to talk about?
For us, you just what you just watched.
So long faces for the young Wildcats who lose their first two road games of the season.
What we are right now is we're not a good basketball team, and we're not a good team because everything, our emotion is all based on our individual play.
Well, it was so long ago. Sometimes you turn things around, but it has not been easy. According to Elias, the Wildcats have been tied or have trailed at halftime in each of their last 4 tournament games, but have won each of those games. They're the second school in NCAA tournament history to win 4 straight games within one tournament despite not having a halftime lead in any of them. Kansas in 2012, the other. Now, Janine Edwards with a different Coach Calipari.
John Calipari should just put a permanent play in your playbook at the end of games in the final seconds when you need a critical 3. Give it to Aaron Harrison. How clutch is that kid?
Well, the biggest thing you have to understand, he's not afraid to miss. That's the most important thing. Like, if I miss, I miss. But I also think James Young was the same way. He just hadn't been in that position to make that shot. The last play, obviously, was for Aaron. It didn't, they covered it. We threw it to Dickie because both guys ran to Dickie. Dickie fumbled it, threw it to Andrew, who then threw it to Aaron, who then jacked it up. And we win a game, which is crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, to start the second half, Wisconsin made a quick 3. You immediately called timeout, and then you guys went on a 15-0 run. What did you say to them in that timeout?
I can't divulge that.
Oh, you
no.
gotta tell us the secret.
What I said was, we took a bad shot, give up a 3. Was anyone listening to me at halftime? Or were you guys like looking at your phones? I mean, because we did exactly, we're going to take great shots, and we're not giving up 3s. We come out, take a bad shot, and give up a 3. Timeout. You know, so it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Put into perspective what this means for you. You are now here sitting on the brink of playing in the national championship game. You didn't even make this tournament last year. And you're with you're with a team. You're with a team that you've had a lot of ups and downs with. It's been a rocky road. What does it mean to you to see this group playing the way they are right now?
Then everybody, there's a process. We're playing 7 freshmen. There's a process. You're not going to play great every night out. Every team gives us their best shot. They were learning how to work and grind to get themselves in the shape they needed to be. They were learning how to fight. I never stopped believing. We met yesterday, and I said, why have I always believed in you as a team? And they said, because we have talent. That's one reason. Give me another reason. You guys are the greatest kid. You're coachable. So now, if I'm giving you the right things and you have the talent, we're going to win. So then it came back, was I doing the right things? And I wasn't for a while. And I told them, they're making me look good now because I was making them look bad for a while. Now, all of a sudden, it switched, and they're playing better.
Well, now you're making each other look good. And I want to show you something that should make you happy. Take a look at this. Some students in Kentucky watching the final seconds of your game. Look at that.
Look at these people. They're crazy. They're nuts. And you know what?
Kind of cool, huh?
That room will be down here Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many thousand, 70,000. How many were at the game? 77, 78?
Final Four record tonight.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the final game record will be Monday.
Great stuff. Thank you, guys. Kentucky opened as the favorite in the national championship game, according to the Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, and ESPN's Basketball Power Index has Kentucky with a 69% win probability. But anything goes in this one. After all, who could have predicted this? Only 1,780 brackets of the over 11 million entered on ESPN's Tournament Challenge had this correct. That's less than 0.1%.
All right. Good stuff going on there. Quickie Sport Rant. Yes. You can look this up. I don't remember the details in particular. But we're talking about the UMass of Marcus Camby when Calipari was there. Now, can you name the last dude drafted into the NBA really before or after Marcus Camby at UMass. UMass was #1 at some point in time that year. And I think we're talking I want to say 2 or 3 before UConn really became, a powerhouse. And, it's a funny thing. The rivalry that developed was Coach Calipari was at UMass really before Calhoun got things going at UConn. And there were all these accusations going back and forth about recruiting violations. So I think that's something that's been forgotten because we're talking 20 years ago, Calipari's at Kentucky, and Kevin Ollie, I think the best choice in terms of, how it's happened. Hey, there was a lot of talk about, do we really want him being, because he's an interim guy, taking over for Coach Calhoun? Yeah. But Coach Calhoun is still a coach by proxy in the stands. Don't kid yourself. It makes for a fascinating dynamic come Monday night. All right, so all the video highlights courtesy to ESPN and the respective universities profiled. A little shout out to the NCAA. Everything else to the OMSR. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Those silly DYs while you start celebrating round 2 during the final game of the college basketball season. We are later out here.